He said on phone that your looks are so ugly that even if you sit outside the mall, people will give you money thinking that you are a beggar. I was different to an extent that it forced them to make me look like a new animal in the zoo. All the memories which I have of my childhood are only of teases, taunts, calling me with or resembling myself with different animals like rats, camel, because camel has big lips pouting outside. Neither I had a beauty nor I had brain. Let me tell you the story of an ugly duckling today. You might be thinking that why am I talking about this story today standing here on this stage? When most of you would have at least heard this story either in your childhood or would have recited this story to your own children. But there is a twist. The twist is that in my story, I am myself is the ugly duckling. Yes, you heard it right. And in this story, I am going to tell you how this ugly duckling converted to a beautiful swan and a girl of her own dreams. Hello everyone. I am Squadron Leader Dipti Kala, an ex-Indian Air Force officer. Served the military for 10 years and went ahead with my next calling of becoming a business coach. Now to hear the story of ugly duckling, let's go back to my childhood. I belong to the city Bahadurgarh from Haryana. And of course, every girl which is born is never wanted or is never welcomed the way the boys are. And I was also one of them. I was different to an extent that it forced them to make me look like a new animal in the zoo. Only because I had big lips, I had a broad nose, I was thin built, my hair volume was less, my eyebrows were fainted, my eyes were droopy, and none of these was under my control. And because of this reason, people started calling me with different names. All the memories which I have of my childhood are only of teases, taunts, calling me with or resembling myself with different animals like rats, camel, because camel has big lips pouting outside. One day, when we were taking a group photograph from the school, I was so shy to get myself photographed because the moment the hard copy is going to go back to my family, I knew that people are going to laugh at my lips, that you are not seen, only your lips are visible. So what did I do? In shyness, I hid my lips, I bit my lips inside my teeth, and when the hard copy came, I ran towards my mom and showed her that photograph and said, "See mom, my lips are so thin." And she laughed at me because somewhere she knew that I looked like a cartoon. But that was my innocence that I tried to make my lips go thin. The misery did not end there. When I started to grow, I realized that I had lost the confidence to go out in any of the functions or on stage at all. One day, we were on an outing with my friends and I did not have money. So one of my cousin brother, his office was just side by of that mall, and I requested if he can lend me some money. And his answer blew my mind and it took me for a shiver. He said on phone that your looks are so ugly that even if you sit outside the mall, people will give you money thinking that you are a beggar. Now, when I was growing up with all these thoughts, I wanted to change my life. I wanted to live life of my own choices. But then how do I do it? Beauty was not only the problem which I had. The other problem was my academics. I was critically poor in maths and an average student in other subjects. But that time, maths was the thing. If somebody is good at maths, they'll call him or her as a genius. But it was me, critically poor in maths, able to score only 0 to 2 to 5 marks maximum. Somehow I managed to pass class 9. And by then, I had already heard my family, my elders talking in my family that I'm very tall, I look very ugly. Somehow they'll make me pass the class 10, and the moment I pass the class 10, I reach an age of 18, they'll get me married off because they said, "बहुत जल्दी बूढ़ी हो जाएगी." These words got stuck in my mind and I never wanted those statements to come into reality. Now what do? Neither I had a beauty nor I had brain. I was a girl with no beauty, no brain. Now I reached class 10 and my fears grew up that this is the time that they are going to get me married off the moment I pass class 10. In summer holidays of my class 10th, few of my cousins were visiting my place. My father had come from office and he hung his uniform under the fan to dry. He was in the army and all my cousins thought to wear his uniform and get themselves photographed. I said, "Why are you doing this?" They said, "We are unsure whether we'll get to wear this prestigious uniform in future or not. So we'll at least get ourselves photographed and we'll see how do we look." After they were done, they asked me to wear this uniform. And something in me answered with so much of surety, so much of clarity, that I said, "No, this doesn't fit me. I will wear one of my own." And that is the day when everything for me changed. I got the clarity that I needed. The first thing, the first hurdle which I wanted to get rid of was this mathematics. And when that happened, in class 10th, which is a very big thing in India because we have board exams, I started scoring from 0 to 2 marks, I started scoring 90 to 95 marks. My teachers, my parents, everybody was shocked with this change. My parents started to get a little hope that I could do something in my life. So when I told this dream to my parents, they did not agree to it, citing the difficult life of the military officer. But this dream was alive in me and I wanted to achieve it. As my academics got better, I got into engineering, and in the last semester of my engineering, I cleared the written exam, the SSB in the first attempt for the Indian Air Force. And proud to say that I also cleared the medicals in the first attempt without any temporary rejections when all other girls got the temporary rejection for some other thing. That was the time in 19 to 20 years of my life, my parents came on the railway station with a bouquet to welcome their pride girl. Their perspective had changed. My entire family's perspective had changed. All the people who were pushing me outside the photo frame now wanted a photo with me. They wanted guidance for their own children from me. Now everybody wanted me. Everybody loved me. Everybody started respecting me. Now the other part of my life started. I went to the academy and I just thought that now the subconscious conditioning of getting success in everything I want was set in my mind. I just didn't want to be any other officer. Hence, I was absolutely great at sports. I started playing sports, and despite of lot of injury, I came out as the best all-rounder in sports from the Air Force Academy, Indian Air Force. Having got the award for devotion to duty, now one day I was on leave at my home in Delhi, and we were holidaying at Rajpath, that is the India Gate. And one thought came across my mind that what if I march at this Rajpath in uniform because I'm in the military? This opportunity is never going to come again. I was tall, I was good at sports, I was physically fit. Why not to do this? And this thought lingered in my mind for a very long time. Crying baby gets the milk. And very soon, our Prime Minister had this idea to have the all-woman contingent for 26th January parade. And the signal had my name. I was happy to the glory that my dream is coming to reality. But how? Life is never only a goody cutter shop. It is filled with ups and downs, struggles. Though I've been achieving so much in my life, but I also have my share of struggles. The same time, in those months, I had a problem in my spine. So my tailbone was swollen up and I was given with a different seat wherein I was made to sit so that my spine gets in the recovery phase. But when the signal came, I was only focused to attend this 26th parade. But my seniors, my family, all were against my decision that you'll end up ruining your spine. But I was not ready because I knew this is the only time, this is the only opportunity I have to convert my dream into reality. And I said yes to that opportunity and I went ahead with Delhi winters, practicing for 14 hours starting from 1:30 a.m. on the Rajpath, and the last day of final selection came. Now, There were 250 women officers and only 144 were to be selected. My heart was pounding and I really wanted to get selected as this was my dream. So a batch of 10 women officers were to made to march to select few of them out of them. Now, the batch in which I was there, we were moving from left to right, I wasn't selected. We again moved from right to left, I wasn't selected. This was the last time when we were to move, and I was totally exhausted because for selection we were giving our 100%. And with all my josh, with thinking about my dream, I gathered all my energy and courage and again gave it a shot. And in the third pass, I got selected. I forgot all my pain, I forgot all my injuries, and I was there marching on 26 January 2015. Now, this struggles did not end there, though at every stage I was achieving my feat. Now, there was a lot of insecurity in me about my looks still. I did not have the courage yet to dress up myself into good clothes or beautiful or stylish clothes because back then in the childhood I was not allowed to grow my hair beyond a certain length because everybody wanted me to grow like a boy because all around in my family were boys. I was the only young girl. So now I wanted to come over that fear. For that, I gathered all my courage and applied for a beauty pageant. I was so scared to tell about this to my family because I knew that everybody would laugh at me that you are so ugly. How could you even think of getting into a beauty pageant? But I had decided that I will come over this fear. And I went ahead with my selection. I got selected and I got my crown of Mrs. Popular from Mrs. India pageant. Now again, I was achieving so much. The struggles, my friends, will never end. The struggles in your life are never going to end. Now, I said goodbye to the Indian Air Force after 10 years of having a very good and prestigious service. And now was the time to move ahead with my second calling. I had been teaching the underprivileged since the age of 15. And I had a calling for coaching and training. I took my certifications and with lot of hard work on weekends, going towards the institute, getting myself trained, and then doing a job to finance myself. Now is the time to implement and convert that dream of coaching into a business. But I couldn't do it. Days passed, months passed. I just could not do it. I had a lot of limiting beliefs that I cannot sell. People have been telling me since childhood that you are a very soft person. Because I was always demeaned for my looks, I had a lot of limiting beliefs. That time, I started investing in myself more and took mentoring from best of the coaches. That was the time when I conceived my second child. Now I had an option either to quit or continue the journey with pregnancy. I chose the later. I continued mentoring with my pregnancy, and in the 7th month of pregnancy, I taught around 300 professionals online and gave up on that in the 9th month, citing the emergency delivery. This time, I made a whole plan that how do I go ahead with it. I joined all my dots which I had learned in my life for these many years of my experience in the military and in civil. And when I did that, I came with my beautiful system which helped coaches to not to go through the time which I went through in these 3 years, curing all their limiting beliefs and coming out with their financial freedom. And ladies and gentlemen, in 40 days, I closed the deals of 10 lakhs. Now, all my limiting beliefs regarding sales, regarding looks, nothing is there. But yes, let me remind you again, your life will always be full of struggles, will always be full of those breakers. But it is you that you decide what is it that you want to do. It is you who have to decide that what kind of life you want to have for yourself. People are there. People will always be there to tell you. Even now, people tell me what different was she, that she's doing so good in her life. Even now, people tell me that how come this girl is doing so good in her life. I'm also India's youngest defense expert. When I come on TV channels, people can't believe this. But yes, this was the decision which I took for myself that I will change my life. I will have my life on my own terms, and so can you. Thank you.
Josh Talks is now a Spotify exclusive podcast. The audio version of our talks will be available only on Spotify. If you like this video and you like to listen to more inspiring stories like this, please follow the Josh Talks podcast only on Spotify.
Tell us what you think about this video and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.